So the fresh slate, you could argue, for C9 here, and a good opportunity for them to showcase something new that they've cooked up or some specific idea that they've got of how to beat MIBR here, because the tape is out there.
We're going to be getting into this one pretty quickly. Looks like it's gearing up for a nice little A rubble, at least A main clash. These teams steady at the beginning though, no signs of life, just creeping up to the angles, and Oxy is going to be looking to explode at a moment's notice here, and he spots it. Body's going wide, luckily. There's a complete collapse as well. Bullets are going to be flying forwards here. MIBR going to carve out a bit of a path. Make it nice and even, 3v3.
I love that little sidestep by Verno. You see how he walked super wide, way into A main, and just pulled the crosshair away from the rest of the team. He's allowed it to get back into a 3v3, but Net's utility is covering a lot of the middle of this map.
C9 though, they're only going to really have the breach stun to make this retake happen.
Got you.
And all of these players are going to be quite late to actually make it over on the rotation.
So stealth drone in through the back, clears the way in towards C. Util's going to be dealt with. Cloud9 now happy to set up, bide their time, try and play this one into the retake.
Shadows traveling.
Shannon still has a paranoia to work with.
Seeing their fault line flies forward here. Salvo's going to be used actually preemptively here by MIBR. Looking to see if they can find a win con in the midst of all of this here. Vic, it just lights out.
Dude, there's something about Vic today. He has been on fire with these multi-kill rounds. And after a pretty heartbreaking way to lose that last map, it's gotta feel good to have that impact and clutch up the pistol round.
He was basically top fragging the entirety of Lotus. He was dominating the previous time that we saw him on the stage as well. Vic's just out here. He's consistently putting up big numbers.
Let's go! Sit your ass down, boy!
You look at this lobby, you talk about contenders for Rookie of the Year. Maybe you're thinking of Cortesia, Verno, the long-awaited prospects from their respective regions. But Vic has kind of sneakily come up and had a really good showing with C9 thus far, especially in stage 1.
Aspas, Verno's opted to drop him just the Outlaw, full armor as well, so this is a big investment into the raid boss. See what he can do with it here. Rattling off the bullets out from short. It's a quick evacuation from Zeppa, doesn't really want much more to do with it.
And the raid boss has been assassinated, so that armor investment is gone. Though the Outlaw, of course, can change hands, get passed down.
And 2 guns picked up here, but a good spot on the drone from Zeppa. Force MIBR to reconsider their options in this round.
And on a round like this, just take a look at the Cypher setup here as well, because this is what Net's going to be doing in a lot of the rifle rounds too, where these things matter a little bit more. But he's getting full information down C, he knows that nobody's playing in that area. Tripping Garage, I mean, it just means that Cloud9 never have to worry about the kind of west side of the map at all.
The west side?
Yeah, have to worry about Beto coming up. It's a fault line. Oxy's going to supplement, at least he's going to add in a bit of extra fire. Paranoia sweeping forwards, the judge in hand. He's trying to do work with it. Gets rewarded. Vic is quick with the cleanup. 2 players surviving here for Cloud9.
What does Verno buy then in the next round, considering that he funded that Outlaw purchase?
Or does Artson take the sacrifice for the team, as we've seen quite a few times this series?
Yeah. My thrifty goat.
Remaining. Spike down B.
Does look like at the moment Verno's going to be the one tanking it with a Stinger purchase. Seems a little bit strange, but at the same time, C9 don't have the world's best bonus round buy. An Outlaw and a Bulldog to work with is not much.
Looks like they're going to try and get Oxy posted on down C long.
It's a double push deep, but MIBR have no inclination to work their way over towards C. They've all grouped up now. A long control is theirs. Sending it forwards now with a stealth drone. Zeppa, it's a critical break for him, and Paranoia is going to sweep forwards. Push them back. Anchor smokes now, lay it down, updraft dash straight into the site. Looking for a bit of a skirmish. Fight to be taken here, but that's rapid and quick. Zeppa is just weaving in and out, just trying to survive. But the response from MIBR is just immaculate.
MIBR, if they had not succeeded in this A hit, they wouldn't have had many other options, had no map control really, except for A and A long. Actually, there was some really nice team fighting from them, and Artson picking up a couple big kills. Gets them this round and keeps things in control.
Nice that they still had the utility to be able to go for a two-phase hit there. The first wave of just the Taeho drone coming in. But you know, if you don't break that and respond to it, they're going to be instantly on you with the flashes, the dashes. But Artezine still had enough in the back pocket and a rifle to boot to be able to get that one through.
Shenom's been such a fun player to watch, the way he's using these TPs proactively throughout this series now.
Shadows traveling.
This time Aspas, similar playbook here. Ult's going to be negated. A TP up towards heaven.
And Oxy looking for a fight. He was stalled out by the salvos early on in the round, but now he's popped his dash. He's looking to take the fight as they're
Towards short.
pushed back from long.
Yep, dash is going to be dissipated though, and your chance running short. Oh my goodness, they just about missed each other.
I thought he spotted a leg there, but he can't have done.
Tucked tight to the side. Util considered Cortesia. He's just checking a cam, I believe.
Does he dare show an ankle?
It's like a Victorian era, mate. Yeah.
Well,
Just
be uncouth.
waiting. Biding their time.
4 players stacked on the site, though. This does not look good for MIBR if they commit.
There's a bait setup as well from Cloud9. Look at it. Tuck 2 players to the corner.
They're doing a
Hit
little
twice
dance.
against it. This is awkward. 44 seconds! Cortesia, okay. Collects that kill. Looking to move in a different direction when you have 37 seconds left.
They're canceling off of this one, and they don't have a ton of control, but they did keep this cam down mid. Know that no one has walked up.
30 seconds left.
Oh, it's all on net.
Yeah. He's the one to try and hold them back. It's an onslaught that's going to be approaching. It's going to get gifted at least with the possibility of just one fight, but as he's activating the setup, that's when Cortesia strikes. Oh, just the best timing in the world for these MIBR players to be taking.
2 absolutely perfect 1v1s for Cortesia, just wins the round for MIBR. C9 don't want to risk losing this one out, don't have a lot of money left. Their bank would be broken if they lost these guns.
Mitch is clearing out short, wondering if somebody could be around here, but I think he's just looking to try to upgrade his weapon. They pinged where the body was, so I think I might be wrong here, but I think there is a Vandal down short behind him. But surely you're not happy with saving a Guardian in this spot, really. That was a beautiful timing from Cortesia, who's been pretty fantastic today. We've had his name on our lips so many times where he's had double kills, triple kills, or just, like in this round, a crucially important single frag to be able to knock something open.
Yeah, Cortesia, I think, stole that rifle that you were talking about.
Yeah, so Mitch did have to just keep the Guardian in. So now you've got 2 Guardians and a Judge into this round. Pretty horrible way for Cloud9's economy to have gone, considering that they won the pistol.
Last 2 rounds have been all about A. On the defensive side, Ned has been throwing a cam down the bottom of C most of these rounds and getting a ton of info over there. MIBR's never cleared that out. They've never really looked towards mid other than putting their own Cypher camera in that space. It's just been a game about taking in lobby control in these late round hits, or in that last round, the pivot back over.
I think if you see a team that's playing their attack sites like this, you shouldn't be too worried, because in theory they will run back into net in some spot that ruins the round. You know, you can't just be doing 20-second pivots back into C every single round and expect it to work for you every time. But that round they got away with it.
That they did. For Cloud9 though, still going to be taking this tactical timeout. A couple rounds earlier, they were kind of considering options, walking a player down C, getting Oxy posted in that area of the map.
Yeah, I think the reason that they're taking the tactical timeout, though, might be less to discuss strategy and more to discuss economy, because it doesn't look like they're going to force here. Originally, they had bought up as if they were going to force into the round. They had double Guardian and a Judge. And now they've decided just to go for pistols on a couple of their players so that they can still buy into round 6. So that might be an instance of attack timeout being used a bit more as a, wait, hold on, guys, you got the wrong read here.
Great call out of the timeout from MIBR. They're sending it towards C. Only Ned is here to receive.
They don't break the cam. Wait until the final moments to do that, and Cloud9 eager to take a bit of control towards A lobby, but hits already coming through.
And I almost feel like you want to save pretty quickly here for C9. Maybe see if you can get something early on, but if not, losing these weapons would likely mean a pretty big reset into your money.
There's the opener again. This guy's been Mr. Consistent. Cortesia eventually cleaned up though. They hunt him down and reclaim the gun. Doing a bit of recycling.
MIBR grouping to fight spawn.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of players in through spawn. But that refight once more. It's a Sheriff in the hands of Net, not the weapon of choice to really deal with, but counter-stun is even perfect on top of it. Bullets lay it down here. 3 players left to try and make a mark, and that's Cloud9 trying to do the most here, but time is ticking away and getting away from them at that. With the player positions, Verno is even going to be that safety net. Has his salvos, and already it's ticking. They realize that the job is done.
They got all the kills they needed there. It was just a matter of doing it a little more quickly, and Cloud9 might have been able to make something happen in a spot like that. They did have to be a lot quicker than they actually were, because as you said, Salvo's still in the back pocket of Verno, but Red Bull Clutch, probably the easiest one Verno will ever get. He just sat there towards Cubby, and the threat was the thing that got it across the line. I do think this is going to be a good idea for Cloud9 overall, the idea of hunting that lurker. Back when we saw MIBR play just last week against G2 on this map, Cortesia was almost always part of a one-person lurk on the opposite side of the map to the rest of his team. And so if you can find him and hunt him down, you can actually play retakes up a man fairly consistently.
Now we're going zooming through, seeing what MIBR can cook up. Drone out through and wide, just trying to sidestep past the smoke as well. That's Vic hunting for a timing, but we're receiving it.
Full 5v5 retake here.
What? Okay, Hunter's Fury off the top. That's not going to be getting any tags at all. Doesn't even clear him through the back of the site.
Look at the rest of Cloud9 waiting for Cortesia to come through garage. Oh. And Cortesia's just sat there at headshot box like, nah, I ain't moving.
And these bullets are being laid down. Addison holding.
Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. Here's the kills collected. Trying to push them back as well as the fight was just about to be taken. Insert a pause unwillingly there for Cloud9. Just being stalled out to such a high degree. Already to Cloudburst though to get themselves back in along with a dart. Whipping it all the way around here. Cortesia off to the side. It's a salvos, but half has been earned to win con. The Cloud9 can work with. A couple of taps there. Bullets flying forwards. Just trying to go off the neural theft and the reveals. Net stands his ground, holds it down. Cloud9 finally able to get around.
That was pretty similar, actually, to the previous one, except C9 sent it as soon as they possibly could. The retakes are looking good. The way that they're fighting together, the kills they're leveraging, and the uncomfortable spots that they're putting MIBR players into, like this one, for example, onto Aspas.
Really nice util usage as well. Zephyr sends the dart for Oxy to dash in and get that 2K. And Zephyr himself taking a bit of a world tour.
Get the up, get the up.
From that double duelist comp playing Yoru to start now, top fragging on the Sova. As again, MIBR head towards C, but this time, Oxy the off in hand and a good bait from Net.
Still think it got spotted, actually.
And Oxy's in a lot of trouble. Up draft, up and away. He's missed the initial shot. Blade Storm, an attempt to salvage, but Aspas straight back at it. It's making sashimi out of the rest of the players out onto the side here, and Vic will do quite a bit to try and offset the damage done. Running and gunning, classic right clicks. This is pure carnage.
Aspas is playing gun game. Goes from the rifle, 2 kills with that, and now a 1v2 for Zeppa.
And he's finding the perfect timing on top of it, but the final boss himself, Aspas. It's a 4-piece overall into the round. Locks it up. Wasn't pretty.
Dude, that crouch peek at the end from Aspas was filthy, though, man. Securing the 4K, I mean, some of this is mess. Some of this is absurd. Like, how do you keep up with the chaos of what's going on here as the Jet players on both sides? But look at this one at the end. Crouch, and just, oh, I'm not even sure he threw the crouch in there, to be honest with you. It looked like it did from the other POV. But he's so precise with that first bullet.
It looks like he's just giving Imi a migraine. Oxy has a hero rifle. And that's all to speak of for C9 this round. MIBR have wrestled control back here, and they pivot their look back. Oh, we've gone C for 3 rounds in a row. Now we're going to just go back to our same 4 towards A look. It's just been a 4-1 all day from MIBR.
Yeah, and this was really the same thing that they were doing against G2. And that's why I'm saying that finding Cortesia and really trying to punish that is going to be key for them. especially when he's playing aggressive on anti-ecos like this. He does give his team a really nice option to pivot back to him whenever he likes. And I think he's just giving so much info here. The fact that the trip goes down and then nobody re-clears this.
You heard them running too.
Yeah.
Watching Cortesia play this map reminds me a lot of like early days less back when he was on Loud with these really proactive lurks into mid, into garage. He's willing to take those risks, those liberties that give his team, his IGL, great options to pivot as it's an open C site that he's earned.
Yeah, good call overall. Gamble stack Cloud9 not working out. Very good macro. They want to try and get a bit fast into the fight here, into the fray all the way through, but you're working against the rifles into the hands of Aspas. Good luck. MIBR, it's inevitable at this point, going to be sitting at that 5th round. Vic will look to do a bit of damage if he can. It's not really going to do much overall to the economy. If anything, you want to go down to the spike. You don't want to build up Verno to that ult.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see Verno hunting for it, actually. There's definitely plays that you can make with the Tejo ultimate that'll make that one extremely valuable to use. He is sticking around, looking to see if he can find the kill onto Vic, who's presumably looking to die to Spike. He's a bit too slow on it here.
I think Verno dies to it as well.
Oh, he does, yep. All good.
He's got 4K in the bank. I'm not sure he's too worried about the economic implications at this point. Operator coming online here for Oxy. They're going to need a big opening pick, I think. We've seen C9 looking to try to hunt the lurker, looking to try to flank retake. But these early contests for space have been going the way of MIBR, and I think Oxy, looking like he wants to be posted down short, is just going to get stopped by the salvos again, surely.
He's going to stand just out of range of them for now, and chance to take the peak.
If they get Oxy posted in A, it frees up a lot of resources to go deal with the lurker in the rest of this map.
And of course, if Cortesia tries to lurk down short, he's going to run straight into Oxy.
First time MIBR has sent any exploration towards B this game. Looking to maybe fake this space. Have the 3 strong force down C send it as well, or maybe it's just a lurk. A very interesting round here for MIBR.
Hoping that they can pull players, I think, on the rotate potentially. Net is under a tremendous amount of pressure. Receiving a bit of help in the meantime, but MIBR, these mid-round audibles are going to be calling. Look, they're not hard committing. They've got access to the B site, and they're making it very well known. Damage done, multitudes of players, and betrayed by the barrel just poking through. Zeppa is no more. Oxy is going to be joining him, I think, shortly. Just giving a hop over, but Shanum all the more aware for it. At this point, this is a wrap for Cloud9. You've got to try and save these rifles.
Such a cool round for MIBR. They've conditioned these 4-1 lurks, only ever committing where they insta-show or calling back onto their lurk on the other side. Here, for the first time, sending forces towards B, faking C with the spike, and then calling back into it. Really nice mix-up from Artson and the gang at MIBR as they kill Net with the salvos and deny C9 an economic advantage here.
Artazine as well. What an IGL. I mean, this is a guy that hasn't got a long history of doing it at a typically top
He's
level.
got like 2 months.
Right. And Frod just decided, like, dude, you're the guy to do it for this team. And he's been getting better and better, I think, while still having great individual performances. Rounds like this, it's a beautiful idea.
Artazine wasn't really the
Bro,
guy
I'm
to...
destroying these guys, oh my god.
He wasn't the one who was pitching to be IGL. Fraud was like, hey, you know this game, you've been with me for a while, you understand my plan. Why don't you try it out? And, well, that trial has been so successful thus far as C9 on an eco, they'll send Oxy on a mission down mid.
We've seen these half-pipe weapons, they can do damage. If MIBR make mistakes, they're not really in a habit of making them, though, to be honest, at this point, as we've been giving credit to the calling. I think their mid-round audibles, the way that they've been calling around whether a player gets a lurk or not, it's been quite fantastic. But Oxy, oh, that's what you get, to be honest. Superstar potential, he's going for even more, but yeah, rifle in the hands of Aspas. That's going to be swiftly dismissing the counterpart.
Cortez just pulled 3 players over towards A, but MIBR might still look to call back into him.
Down through short. It's a hard clear for MIBR. Gonna have to play this one tied together. Trying to contact all the way through here. This is just bullets through the wall as well. Slow down to a crawl net. Still Judge in play. Uh-oh. I'm sensing danger, yet they navigate it regardless. And now, Mitch was supposed to be that danger player. Verno's running and gunning and jumping in the air. Somehow still getting value out of it. For MIBR to make out with a round win here when there was all that danger just circling around him on the A site. Near enough a miracle.
Felt similar to that Lotus round where Net was tucked towards B with a Judge and got 2, and then he was cackling about it afterwards. But this round was not to be. And I don't even know really how Mitch lands that shot, but it's not the silliest one of the round as it happens.
Okay.
So Oxy goes for a walk down mid though in this round.
What is this? What is this? Do you know that ghost bug?
Okay, I don't know what
I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know.
Bug?
I don't know what Ghost
Full
Bug he's
stack?
talking about, but also the tech pause has not come through either. So maybe the admins didn't know the Ghost Bug that he was talking about.
He's making a joke, I think, about them having walls, but
I don't think so. He looked serious about it.
well,
Spike down. B.
Oxy, that's an opener that Cloud9 have been struggling to get for quite some time here. Puts a pause into the exec, MIBR not choosing to commit.
Cortesia has a very good lurk up into garage window, but it is being held from Mitch backside B. He'll have to pick his timing very carefully.
Making moves. Up through mid. I mean, the way that MIBR are dissecting a lot of the weak points here. Cloud9 set up. It's a critical fight is about to be won out potentially. My God, it's labored, but eventually getting it. He's up in the air. He's getting away with bloody murder. Shorty out. You get away with that. Aspas, why not? Put a cherry on top. Bake me a cake while you're at it.
This is a collapse, a crumble of C9. I mean, that's just tragic. The fight itself is so labored. I don't know whether he was trying to bait out the swing or whether he was actually going for the wallbang shots, but the fact you also land the shorty kill after.
And this was a Cloud9 that had 2 chances to close out on Lotus, to clinch their spot in the playoffs, go up 3-0 in the group before they even have to face G2. But now, having to face the music here, 8-3 on MIBR's attack side. And they're gonna have probably both initiator ults heading into this final round.
Yeah, like we said, we haven't seen C9 win on Haven, as far as I'm aware, since late 2023.
They're so rich, they're just gonna die to Spike. Don't risk giving Zeppa the ult. That's actually pretty base. They don't wanna give him a chance, I think, to get the kill there.
That's just disrespectful, man.
Min-maxing.
That's so disrespectful. I mean, after you lose a round like this and then all of your opponents die to Spike. Yeah, that's brutal. Cortesia is just getting into garage. C9 are not running reclears through that area of the map, and they're just waiting for him, and then even when they wait for him, they lose to him.
Darmageddon's out.
Yeah, I'm seeing pings on the minimap. It's about to be chaotic. It's about to be messy. Hold on to your seats. Here's the clash and the skirmish. You've already caught the contact of these players, and here it is. Ult offloaded. Armageddon all the way through it off the paranoia forwards, and a TP on bricks. Mass cleanups in order here, and it's Zeppa and Oxy on janitor duty. Just trying to make the most of it. And definitely finding the advantage. And edge they were looking for, still double fighting. This is how you throw it. You do not want to be giving this guy in. Cortesia has been on an absolute tear this entire series. And you may have just given him a lifeline.
Net only as a judge, he wants to get a gun. And Cortesia is defending these weapons.
Hell of a read, but anticipating that it could be in a different direction. And Net's just going to be waiting for the spike to be planted before he can receive that upgrade. Wants to play it safe.
I mean, the trip's there for good information anyway on the flank, so if he has the confidence to go for a plant, he's going to have great info about where Net is coming from.
Cortesia has a camera in the post plant, and there are no cages for Net.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Now it comes down to a game of timings. Both these players going to be drifting around.
Oh, this is brutal. I mean, it looks like it's planted for CT. It looks like it's planted for Heaven. you're not really going to think about a guy being tucked short, I don't think, here.
Yeah, it's unorthodox. We'll see if Net considers it here. Steadily working, trying to clear up all of those unknowns across the map, but now getting a move on, getting a run on because he can hear it. Spike stuck, but Net none the wiser, and it's all Cortesia. It's a 9-3 finish to this half of Haven. You cannot give this guy ins.
He said it himself that he was destroying these guys on comms with his team, and he has just been outstanding all series long.
What is this, though? The double swing from Oxy and Zeppa, overheating in the moment in a 3v1.
And that Red Bull clutch puts the half to 9-3. C9, they'll have to mount a massive comeback if they want to rally in this series.
A 9-3 here for MIBR. And listen, they've seen ups, there's been downs, and Cloud9 potentially kicking themselves that they couldn't close it out on Lotus. Here on Haven, it's been hard going for them, making some pretty poor decisions, I think, as well. We've been talking about how, honestly, it's just been a very good macro game from MIBR as well, in terms of the calling. Cortesia always inserting himself and calling for these pivots, mid-round audibles as well. Whatever and whoever you want to really attribute the success to, MIBR are winning because of it.
I don't think Cloud9 got proactive enough, though, at actually clearing out certain areas of the map. They were kind of waiting for MIBR to be the ones that made the play and came to them. Now C9 are on the attack, though, and I do expect Oxy to be the one driving the tempo, but Aspas waiting with a Sheriff.
Oh yeah, this is a brutal one. Faultline's going to get a decent job of clearing him out wide here. It's a dart that's avoided. Dash popped off, and everybody wants to avoid him. Don't blame him. Skirting around from the raid boss. Slowing it down into the mid-round. And calling for the walk-up. Flash pop play in through B. It's open access, but there are these sightlines that are opened up, and there's no smokes forward after shock. Pushing it back once more. Paranoia is going to be sweeping through anyway, blinding up most of them. Causing it even, though. It's 4v4 as it stands, and Tap, a push forwards. This is Cloud9 potentially overcooking because Verno has got a bit of a read on it, but he's just missed the timing onto this one, and the smoke's going to be pushed. Doubled up with the discipline there. Shanum, hard committed, hard stuck into the corner, near sighted as what? Finally trying to play themselves in. Cortesia! Oh my, finally denied, but he's surely done enough in terms of the damage. Vic, 5 HP and a dream. The Tap pulled out.
30 seconds
Fast
left.
forwards, and now he knows it's not quite the case. Just hold in for the repush.
Vic has been outstanding for C9 all series, but in the 1v1 against Aspas, can't bring it through. And that's a dagger in the heart. They had opportunities to close out this round. Chose to push deep and try and work their way through A, but it's multi-kill from Cortesia, and Aspas in the 1v1 might just put an end to C9 in this series. 10-3 now.
Cortesia and Aspas, look at the kills that they've been able to put up here on Haven. 31 kills with 13 deaths. I mean, that's spectacular, and they've been so important for this team all series long. C9 are going to force, unless they win this round, it's looking pretty unrecoverable.
It's all or nothing. Aspas, here's your time to shine, and listen. handed a multitude of targets to pick from, and Shanum's happy to just collapse in after the fact. Quick dodge. The flash actually just not quite avoided in time here. Cortesia's got to be careful. Oh, he's just bumping into all sorts of furniture and geometry. It does not matter. He's still alive, still kicking. MIBR up to 11. The force just not working out from Cloud9. It feels like a bit of a collapse at this point.
Cortesia full blinded twice, doesn't die on the C site.
Oh. And the Guardians are so good in those kind of situations too, because just double body shots and all the players on light armor are gone. I mean, Aspas throws in a headshot there for good value as well, but it's a bit brutal. C9, they started with a great performance in this series, and especially coming off the back of a really dominant series that we just watched from them. I was feeling great about their stocks, and it's kind of just trailed off as the series has gone on. I don't know whether that is attributed to the energy today or whether it's to do with their map pool strength, but it hasn't quite been that same punch here on Haven at all. We haven't seen really any moments of it.
And it's brutal. They had the chance to go to Ascent, the map they looked so good on last week. Instead, chose to head here to Haven, and it has been all MIBR thus far. Last time out of regulation called for Emmy. Would need to be practically perfect from here on out, but the money again is in a really bad spot for C9 after losing that force buy.
It's basically just force up the entire way out.
And pray.
Yeah, it really is. And I think this is where a little bit of discipline becomes really important for the MIBR players too. You want to make sure that you close this out and don't allow C9 any level of a comeback, because you saw what happened on Lotus. C9 almost managed to win that map after MIBR were up 9-3. Poor Mitch at the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's not good. Pi watch in order. 2-13.
Standing ahead.
To 3.14. Suppress immediately here. Eager engagement there from Vic. He's looking to see if he can draw some of that blood, but immediately disengaging.
How does C9 get the Stingers into position to actually find any value? Cortesia is just super bold holding this angle. Might get pushed off the line by the drone, but I think he's confident enough. He could pick it back up if he wanted to.
Has support as well. Two of his teammates ready to fight down short here.
They've got a good hold on towards the A site. Cloud9, at this point, inevitable, they're going to be setting their sights onto it, looking to see if they can clear the way, but Util is going to be used in response of it. And here it is, dash in forwards with that dart, but no clearance into the corner, and Cortesia, you can't be doing this to him, son! He's just like trying to take your time with it, and Zeba just whips it all the way around, quick 180. And a spray down in order here. 2 players left to stand for MIBR, looking to try and play into this retake.
Aspas is still alive though. And Verno has at least the salvos to try and make something of this.
Last player standing.
Didn't anticipate Vic already being in heaven.
Okay.
It wanders forward and whoa, what are you doing up here?
Aspas, correct me if I'm wrong, should be saving onto this rifle.
I mean, that's the kind of thing you were criticizing him for last year.
Yep.
He's got 2250. He's confident to at least find nothing here.
He knows the timing though. He's just hoping and hunting for a bit of an exit, but he should be able to get out.
Yeah, everybody on C9 evading. And going out with better weaponry than they came in with, but still not like an amazing arsenal to work with here. You've got 1 proper rifle out the back end of that, 2 Guardians and a Stinger. So, still a bit wonky, the economy. Another difficult round for Cloud9, but the momentum was not halted instantly. So there is still hope. Admittedly, a flickering and very weak flame.
They're heading back towards A. Here. But MIBR, I think this time, want to contest a little more. They have both initiators ready to go, and Teo makes this A lobby fight a real tough task.
Just trying to dodge to the side here. Smoke to weave in and out of, hiding from the initial dart, so Aspas is tucked to the corner. A bit of a fire going back and forth. Cloud9 are gearing up though to try and go into this hit here, stacked. Three of these MIBR players are going to be realizing it pretty soon enough. Stealth drone. Only broken by net, so it doesn't really tell them the whole picture. Now the drone signifying quite a lot here. We're going to be sending this one flying forwards anytime now.
Cortez has a lot of info, walked up down C long. They can keep this stack on A.
Yeah, and here it is. Flash forward to the fault line as well, but a spam into the smoke on top of it. Lighting these players up, but obviously just can't quite spray them down. Still an attempt to flip back in is punished. Cloud9 got every avenue watched for there. An attempt by MIBR to try and defend that one is immediately dismissed.
Left down into a 2v4. Pretty similar to a previous round, except that Cortez is in a much nicer spot to make something happen. And it doesn't really look like Mitch is thinking about this. Vic not holding it either.
Yeah, he was just watching it and ended up looking in a different direction. Kezia, what are you going to be doing? Putting on a bit of a show for us, I think, here at this point. Oxy with a reposition, trying to be smart with it. Cover the avenues. Make sure that he's that backup policy, lying in wait, and finally tapping away with a Guardian and hand, a bit of precision. And Calm ordered for in the middle of the round. Shaneum's going to be doing a lot of damage, though, to the economy in these stray moments, and hopefully holding onto the rifle of his own.
For C9, though, these are simple rounds. Open towards A lobby, take that space, re-exec. They've done it 2 rounds now, and those re-execs have looked very nice.
Yeah, keep it simple, and hope that basically MIBR don't make major adjustments.
For Mitch now, in a bit of a weird position. 2 and 14 to this point. He gets a kill this round, and he's at Pi.
I know.
Hoping to die here.
I was looking for it in that round as well, and Mitch didn't actually end up taking a fight at any point. Kind of a bad situation where you're rooting for a player to get a kill in order to Pi. MIBR with 4 players stacked over towards A again. I mean, they had the stack in the right place in the previous round, but C9 still won. This time, C9 managing to find the weak side of the map.
I feel like I'm watching the first half all over again with these 4-1s. Start heavy towards A 2 rounds in a row, then go back 4-1 into C.
And I wouldn't believe, except that C9 did actually run it back on Lotus.
It's always that inclination at the back of your mind that it could happen.
Different halves, of course. They ran it back on the defense side.
Here it is, an attempt to try and flood their way back in here. MIBR have bodies and weaving in and out as well. They play Aspas in beautifully. It's able to pick off Oxy, remove one of the rifles from these fights, and out wide here, Vic with a bit of a spray down. It's a mad attempt to try and get some control and coverage in through the back once more.
That is
it! And he's got another kill, so immediately the Pi is averted.
Yeah,
but it was there
half a
for
second
a
of
moment.
Pi. Half a second of Pi.
we got the Pi.
Do we get to eat it?
We get the Pi.
fine? But he didn't. But
He did Pi,
It's
though.
when round ends. I feel bad eating.
No, it's not
this.
when round ends.
He pied.
It's when round ends.
No, it's not when round
Look
ends.
at, it is.
He
He's got
pied.
4 and 13.
It's
I don't
just
want
at
to eat
any
the
point.
pie.
At any
Eat
point,
the
you
pie.
could...
Put the pie in your mouth,
He
Brent.
pied for like half a
Put
second.
the pie in your mouth.
Yeah, well, you could
It
eat...
doesn't seem fair.
Brent, pie in the mouth or pie on the face?
All right, no
Your
cast,
choice.
no casting for 30 seconds.
Yeah, you can eat the pie for half a second, okay? You can eat the pie for as long as Mitch pied. And he did a good job, and you know what? Maybe he'll end up getting back into this game because he got that kill.
You can do play-by-play.
No, I can't.
You can, Josh.
You're forced into it. All right, I'll do it. Half a mouthful, Oxy up and over, up, drive to the power door up.
Maybe I'll let
He's
you
going to
go
play
for a
Storm out, has a
second.
full reveal into the back. Shorty in hand. He's going to try and make a go of it. Decapitating towards easier. Had to mid-gulp in the middle of all that action.
MIBR set up for the retake here. 3 players working back in through garage. Drone realizes there's no one on a lurk, but Oxy in a position to make the difference.
Sidestep. Beautiful movement. And Oxy's going for a little bit more there with a dash to disengage. Weaving in and out. This is a hard chokehold. Cloud9. Not willing to give up any section of the site.
And why does it actually feel like C9 are going to run this one all the way back? I mean, MIBR are thinking about saving already. Look at him, backing off over towards Spawn.
Yeah.
And Aspas, he's got the weapon they would most like to save, and yet he's reluctant to retreat. Now, though, with a drone heading towards him, yep, skedaddle, buddy.
Tacked up too, just through the gap in the door.
And it does really feel like C9 are going to be able to get back into this game because every round, it doesn't matter how much resistance there is, they're able to get in onto a site and win a post plan.
This forthcoming round is going to be very important for that aforementioned comeback. Verno, Artzin, both 1 away from their ultimates. I imagine MIBR wants to try and get those online. C9's going to know that too.
These are some really simple rounds, though. You know, Aspas spots them out and even gets an opening kill right at the beginning, and yet C9 just goes straight up the gut, exec into C. There's no massive crazy fakes or anything to get them into positions. They're just playing default Valorant, and it's working.
Yeah, last map we had the dishonest map of Neon, Breach, Teo everywhere. Here it's just been about the fundamentals, and MIBR, I imagine, focusing on that some as they call their timeout, get Fraud into the conversation. Your eyes have to turn to Aspas, that operator he saved on through, and how much value he can bring to the team with it. Josh is still eating his pie, by the way.
Yeah, I
Moment
mean,
has passed.
well, I would like to eat the pie more. It's just sitting there staring at me.
There's a timeout. Have a bite.
I need kind of like a bottle of water.
I'm considering it a
Here,
celebration.
I haven't opened this one.
You haven't opened it?
No,
okay.
that's for you.
I'm gonna be like spitting pie all over the place.
That's okay.
It is open.
I don't think I drank from it.
You can have that bottle of
Okay,
water. It
thank
was
you.
open. Listen.
We're eating the pie as a celebration of Mitch's IGLing, because you know what? You can still IGL your team to successful attack rounds from the bottom of the scoreboard while dropping 4 and 15. And that's what he's doing at the moment. And it's not even like they're navigating away from the Aspas operator. They just sent it up the gut in that round.
Yeah.
Still, that was Aspas' I think, first round that he actually had the op. He's been rifling a fair bit this half.
Yes, this should do.
Here's the second.
But I don't want to see him get tricky with it. Like, it's literally working. They've got 4 rounds in a row here just by picking a site. And
This goes.
they're not just sending it off rip every time, but they are picking their approach and then running good executes to be able to get into nice positions.
And danger zone now is Aspas and Dart. Oh, it's gone way past as well, so he can take a cheeky peek here. Rolling Thunder. Where's that one going? Straight through into Garage. He just tanks a drone shot. A lot of patience being played by Aspas there, but still dashed to the side. And Oxy, oh my god, he's already in your spawn.
Oh, now that is lovely.
Shorty's going for more. Finally denied and finally shut off.
You said you didn't want Mitch to get tricky with it, but that is a nice call on the set play.
No,
They
that
send
was
a
awesome.
dart all the way back to clear this area behind Garage window, see that no one's there. Oxy's then dashing up through Garage, pathing all the way behind to catch the stunned player's back C. And it's Aspas with an operator there. Can't do anything when stunned up with that op. Very pretty stuff from C9.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous set play to bring out. I can't be mad about that one. I did say that I didn't want him to get too tricky, but that one was, yeah, beautifully well orchestrated. And also, if at any point you're going to run a strategy like that, it would be best to do it straight out of the MIBR timeout, because you stop them from being able to run their adaptation that they were calling.
The Brain Destroyer.
It is. That one is the Brain Destroyer. You can't run it again, so now you're going back to the more standard stuff. But here's that setup.
This is 5 rounds in a row for Cloud9.
Yeah, just a really cool variation on the normal C dart. No one's in position to break it.
Cheeky.
And it allows Oxy to go for this pathing. And the smokes as well block off B and then block off spawn, so he doesn't have to worry about that either.
And it's interesting because that was Verno's ultimate use to defend his teammates' backside, not knowing that Oxy was pathing all the way around.
Another chance to draw some blood here from either team. Aspas playing tight to the corner here with the Blade Storm in hand.
You need an Aspas round to close this game out. Get MIBR up to 12.
So to put a stop to it, it's a Rolling Thunder. And immediately, look at that, Aspas just pounces. Verno by his side. What can't this team do? You said it, Mimi. You need an Aspas round, something to really set the momentum back on MIBR's side, because they've been losing grip so far in this half.
Has to be net now, a chance here in mid.
No more charges left.
Just poking and prodding for now.
Yeah, not confident enough to actually go for that one. Maybe wondering if there was a trip that he was going to meet, but I think he would have heard it at that point. Didn't want to take the timing through the doorway, though. Cam above on the door frame. And he's content at this point to just try to dismantle what's going on the other side of the map.
Aspas is quick to try and rotate away from this one here, narrowly avoiding most of the stuns coming his way, but 37 seconds left. This is going to be a quick pivot. Call for by Cloud9. Ned doesn't actually have too much space here when he's making this call.
They saw Breach and Jet there, know it's likely to be the Cypher site on C. But still, MIBR have good tools to win a retake here in the 5v3.
I need a few more picks though. As you said, MIBR have all the tools to really stop this one here already. The salvo's going to be used. Sprayed out, Net has got to be careful. Narrowly avoided most of this one, but stunned up and straight through the wall here. And here he is, class onto the flank. That's Shanum. Looking to try and put a stop to this one. Now the spike did go down, but the heat applied in through the back. Shepard wins. Critical fight at that, but he's got a lot more to do. And against Aspas, improbable just looks impossible.
And I want to see that first kill from Aspas again at the beginning of this round. He was stunned up midair from the breach ult, barely saw his opponent.
It's his own
Here
team's
it is.
breach ult as well, right?
Yeah, I don't even...
Or is that a breach stun on the other side, actually?
I think both. He
Yeah.
barely saw Oxy, but one blade does it.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
And these 2 kills on the retake as well. It's just a thing of beauty.
Up to 22 kills. He and Cortesia were absolutely farming in the first half. Slowed down slightly, couldn't really find their opportunities, and that big refight has just given them the confidence again. Puts them up to series point. C9 need another 4 in a row.
MIBR have been yearning for a chance like this. Looking for a few more as well. This is Cloud9 getting a little bit too aggro. And still Vic trying to hold that one down. Wasn't he stunned in the midst of all of that still? Pushed out into the open anyway and eventually will fall. Cleaned up.
But Bren, the C side is open in all that chaos.
3v3.
C9 will get a post plant here.
John's going to be used to try and clear out a way in through garage. Smokes it down, you can play off site if you want to, and it looks like that's a call going to be made here by Cloud9. Everybody playing down to long.
Yeah, they're falling off site because of the lack of smokes, but Mitch has full breach util, so they could actually want to fight back into this.
Could get dangerous.
No cages on Cortesia.
Time's not ticking too hard just yet. Updraft up, it's a high ground perch, but Oxy's immediately ripping heads clean off. And he wants even more. It's dash, proct, anticipating a swing from a specific type of angle, and Aspas so wants to deliver it still. It's getting away from him now. Flash, util, it's in abundance here for Cloud9. From the brink, despite the 2-player disadvantage. Evened up into the 3v3, they somehow find a way to win that round out.
Oxy with 2 magical shots by the look of things. We didn't quite catch it from his POV, but we'll eventually see it in the replay. But how has Vic got 2 from here?
He
Like
was
you said, stunned
on
up.
both kills. Did someone's been watching the How to Shoot Well Breach Stun TikToks?
And then, yeah, Oxy gets the kill on the jump up there, as Verno was trying to get into a better position. They bring it within 3. It is still doable for Cloud9 to get it to overtime.
On a C hit.
Right to what was working for him. Updraft away from the trip, TP forwards into that smoke on top of it. Full evacuation from MIBR. Seppa with the plant, nothing to push it back.
Spike planted.
A lot of tension in the air here, a couple of pot shots flying forwards, but now with a util. It's a more concrete effort here from MIBR to see if they can lay claim. Dikes up, section up most of this side here. Cartesia right from the side. Oxy! Oxy! He's unleashed! 4 kills! And Cloud9 just will not die.
Oxy, the superstar for Cloud9. Whenever this team is under pressure, he's the man to deliver. Going toe-to-toe with the duelist people call the GOAT. And delivering a Blade Storm round to himself. My God! Those shots were too clean.
I was expecting a massive pop-off there from Oxy, and he does go for the pop-off, but then he's immediately locked back in. This team really believes that they are going to win this map. You see how quickly he reset, thinking about the next round, thinking about getting back in, and what's the next game plan going to be? How am I going to have that level of impact again to get my team to OT?
7 of the last 8 rounds won for Cloud9.
And they only need 2 more. They're starting to do massive damage to MIBR's economy too. Everybody on light armor right now for MIBR. They've taken their time out. This one, the last one that they've got access to before overtime comes. And if MIBR lose this, then their economy is going to be, I mean, you know, light armor bulldogs or whatever for the final round of regulation. And they're not getting close to any massive ultimates either, but perhaps Verno's Tejo ult. So this round is it. Right here, right now. Can C9 take it to overtime? It's all on this.
Pivot point in the series. Cloud9, tenacious man, not willing to give up.
C9, if they could bring this back, it would be a lock on playoffs. They want this win after letting it slip back on Lotus.
They've had Cortesia holding C on his own. Now Aspas comes over, but he's alone. Can he stop the tide of Cloud9?
Slow, slightest of windows. That's a tag onto Oxy. A few more stray bullets. Might even collect another one. 140. 10 HP. Oxy going to be thinking twice about this one, and it's more time for rotates on top of it. So MIBR shore up the defense, bring up the barricades. But now they've got to withstand most of this util coming their way. Oxy! Set up for success. Mitch might be sitting at the bottom, but the util was perfection and still an attempt to flood in by MIBR. They want to go for it. It's quirky with the movement, but half committed at best. They're just not really trying to lay claim in through the back of the site, but finally, here they come. Shanum, Cortesia, expecting something. Mitch from the side, out of nowhere. And Cloud9 find the 11th.
The man who came into this half pied, shows up and drops a massive 2K to keep his team in it. Oxy had 10 health for these kills. Back-to-back perfection from the young man in backside C.
Beautiful as apple pie. Gorgeous little play from Mitch. Gorgeous little play.
He says chowing down on the pie again.
Yeah, well, here it is. One last chance for MIBR in regulation. Can they close out this series? Or is it going to be going to OT? Cloud9, slow and steady. Cautious beginning. Orb's going to be given up here, so Verno earns himself the ult. Everybody walking up past this lurk and smoke, but that's going to be dissipating! Idiot step just a one before the instantaneous trade-off. Now you see it in Neural Theft. That's going to be giving a bit of a indicator of what's going on, and that narrowly avoiding instant defeat.
I think he took a tick of the damage there, didn't he? So he was probably only a frame or two away from dying.
And here comes the pivot option, straight through B. It's a new look for Cloud9. Most of his rounds have been ending on C. Still, reveal up. Mitch is going to be leading the charge for his team, trying to get in there. There's no pushback from MIBR.
And there's no smoke for the retake either.
MIBR just trying to find positions to try and play this retake from, but split up across the board.
You have to look to our spots in garage.
He's going to be taking a peek soon enough. Mitch, a timing to be taken, but he's got his head on a swivel. Both of them trying to hold this one in through the back. That's Vic just trying to narrowly avoid most of that, but stunned up here. Barrel. So Aspas trying to bait the shot as well to try and favor himself in a setup for the fight. And even with that whip setup, Seppa somehow misses it. This is being stuck all the way, surely. Defense in order. That's how MIBR win it. 13-11. And my God, what a finish to the series.
All of the wind just taken out of Cloud9 sails at the very end. Bitter disappointment after they ran it all the way back. I mean, look at Vic at the end there. Head in his hands. And Oxy, what a performance he put on individually too.
I mean, he went band for band with one of the GOATs, Aspas himself. They're both sitting at the top of the scoreboard, 27 kills, 7 first bloods both. Didn't
For
matter,
MIBR though, I mean, looking at that first half, I felt like I was watching Old Loud again. Aspas winning these late rounds. Cortesia given shades of less with successful lurk after lurk, walking his way through.